Hi guys, hello, mirror me to everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. It is Friday. It is the 11th of December. Today, of course, the government will have had either a continuing resolution yesterday, or there will be a government shutdown. Looks like they did the 1 week continuing resolutions, which means there's no shutdown, and yet there's no break about the stimulus either. As stimulus talks fail again. 17 states and one President Trump have joined Texas in the constitutional argument against the election fraud going on. So, yeah. So we're going to see more. 22 states, however, have decided to take the side of the Democratic states, such as Wisconsin. Connecticut is on the Wisconsin side. The thing is that I really don't want to get too much into that because of YouTube's new policies on cracking down people who talk about election without citing sources. And right now, I don't have sources to cite. So let's just say, I can get them fast enough, but I didn't plan to dig up my sources at this time of night. Very, very vexing. Also, I want to talk a little bit about some people that I find vexing. I'm not giving names. I'll give you one clue. One of them is not People of Peace. I will say that much. This is not People of Peace doing this. The Anti-Hate League or group is not POP. The woman that Dr. Elena, whatever her name was, Elsa, whatever, is not POP from yesterday. Okay? The neo-Nazi fascism is not from POP. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that only briefly because Pop said to me, so why don't you bring it up on your YouTube channel? And I said, well, last night I felt really, really sore. I had a lot of dull aches from walking all those hours around Walmart, and I didn't really want to do a live show and try to deal with that topic on that show because we all know the night show can get out of control real quick. So I just said to myself, I'm going to wait on it, see what happens. I talked to Carrie in chat about it. She agreed that this stuff that we're talking about is definitely out of line with my show normally is. I would just quietly say this: if you do not like this channel at all, if you cannot stand it, then why are you even subbed? Okay, there is a lot of good people who sub to my channel and want, to put the best foot out. And for you, I thank you. It's the ones that come into this channel thinking this channel is meant to be attack or make fun of people. I'm sorry, that's not what this channel was for. This channel was designed to be, and it is, a personal YouTube channel where we do cover topics of various types, and we don't have a strict formula. But rather we cover the news and personal life and things like that. So that's what we do. So depending on who you are, that may or may not be your thing. I'm going to be honest that sometimes I don't physically feel like doing a show like last night, not only because of because all the hate, the speech that was going on the channel, but because of the fact that I was physically very sore, I had a very dull, kind of dull aches you get after a heavy exercise routine, and then you're hurt the next day. Because the reason is I did not get a lot of exercise prior to yesterday walking around Walmart as much as I did with Krista, trying to find things and carrying packages up the stairs. It's not easy, but I had to do it. So there is nobody out there who can do my life for me. I have to do my own life. I have to wake up. I have to take care of everyday things just like everyone else needs to do. There's no magic spell that's going to make, for example, my house get clean or make my breakfast for me in the morning. basically, I have to do that. I have to work it to get things together. Unfortunately, because we didn't get any grocery shopping done of any significance yesterday, we got to go back to grocery shopping again this week. So we're going to be going to Aldi's on Wednesday. The reason we didn't get any grocery shopping is because those two damn shelves basically took up the whole darn shopping cart, and there was in the cat food, there was no place to put the shelves. And so for that reason, I just said, fine, I'll just go ahead, get the shelves, cat food, and about 4 boxes of cereal. I didn't even use my food stamps. I used my regular cash for that because I figured that instead of whipping out a piece of food stamp plastic I can use for groceries or grocery day, I would wait and just get the groceries at a later time. So yes, makes sense. Now, by the way, since I got the shelf, I kind of haphazardly put some things on the bottom shelf there. I want to kind of reorganize those small objects down there. And that's going to be something I want to do. Just going to touch up the base of the shelf. Likewise, I have a similar shelf in the bedroom I need to do as well to get things back into order, and so things will be in a good place shelf-wise. Right now, of course, I'm surprised no one's here this morning. However, last night's good afternoon or good morning world show was kind of uneventful too, but that was because it was at an unusual time for a lot of people, and they weren't ready for that. Today, of course, is during the regular time. The people usually start coming in around 10:15, so being aware of that. As I said, we've been watching the trends of who shows up and when. I mentioned the Elder Scrolls Online. I should show you that it plays. Let me go back into Steam. Let me get this started. I'll show it to you right now. So let's go to Elder Scrolls Online, hit play. Give it a few minutes to start. And then we'll check it out. Personally, I'm not too impressed by the game. Because, like I said, I got trapped in a room I can't get out of. Apparently, I must have did something that triggered the guards, and they locked me inside. And I don't have a key, even though I have a lockpick kit given me by the starting NPC. That's all I got. Picking locks is not my thing. I should watch more Lockpicking Lawyer. Maybe that might help me with the game, because he's always taught me how to pick a lock. That's why I was kind of familiar with lockpicking, but it was like I didn't know which keys were binding or whatever, which pins were binding. Some pins were giving false gates, and they're not doing what I expected them to do. Let's go to the Windows 10 tab, since that's not being used right now. Oh, it's already set. Excellent. So I don't even have to change it. So let's go take a look at Elder Scrolls Online here. My Elder Scrolls Online character. We're gonna go to Michele. That's Michele right there. She's got a lot of arm on her, arms and men. She's an elf, but she's a different breed of elf than the night elves. The high elves that we're familiar with from World of Warcraft. The only thing is, as I said, she's stuck in a room she can't get out of. You don't think that the slavers are going to kindly want her to walk away, do you? No. Nothing tells me that even if she did manage to get them open the door, it's going to be slinging her way around to get out of the environment. I might have to consider having the character commit suicide and basically start over, because she can't do crap. This thing requires two hands to. There's a door. They locked it from the outside, and I can't get out. Okay? So That's me right there. You can see me. You can see how I'm dressed here. I could do is I want to show you the helmet accessories. I'm keeping that necklace. I have one personality. Okay, so I'm wearing a helmet right now. So I got some upgrades, gears I found. Right now she's a fire mage, or yeah, I think she's a fire mage. I don't think she's a priest. The thing is either way, she can't get out of here. She's stuck. So, that's the food. As far as I can tell, she doesn't exactly seem to be short on food right now. I don't know the easiest way to take stuff off. Enchant? Seriously? You do not have any enchantments. Oh, snap. Right. Slow sandals. So I worked hard to start getting stuff together. And the problem is she has a helmet on or a hat on, but I could take that hat off. Stack all items. This is completely different than I'm used to. All right, so it does play. But she can't seem to figure out what to do. I can't figure out what to do with her. She's stuck. Trapped in a room, she can't leave. Kind of like they talk about in Hotel California, right? But they can never leave. Oh. And then this morning I came up with a Beatles version of the song called Help. And let me try to type it in the chat. I tried. Philadelphia's. I couldn't get out of that room at all. God. So I need to figure out how I'm supposed to do anything in the game. So where is everybody on YouTube this morning? I don't know. I have no clue where they are. Send a message out on Twitter. You already sent a message. Right. Yeah. So I'm kind of stuck. I know. Well, why don't you do this? If you're going to type in a link and then send it to Discord, I'm sure people at Discord wouldn't mind knowing if you're live. Yeah, but I wonder about those hate mongers that are trying to sit there and say all those horrible things about me. Nah, don't worry about them. They're just jerks anyway. The ones that you need to worry about are the long-term audience that have been with you from beginning to end and are not going to walk away without a good reason. Hate mongers are not an issue. Because those who hate you, in essence, hate themselves because they realize that they themselves, that their lives are at a state of disrepair and they can't change it. So it's obvious to me that people don't appreciate the effort you put into it. As far as being live last night, Michelle, like she said, she was extremely physically tired. And then, of course, seeing the hate messages was enough to basically make her want to walk away from doing the live show, knowing that people in the live show were going to be potentially taking the sides of that ambivalent person, and that's what Michelle was afraid of. Trying to do what Pop suggested, to confront an enemy you do not know, is not a way to deal with the problem. Of course, we did report on YouTube. Yes, we did. All right, so where is everybody else today? Well, one just went offline, so who knows? So it's Monday morning and or Friday morning. No stimulus checks yet because they still can't figure out what's the best way to do it. Look, I have an idea. This is me. Actually, I'm not the only one. A Republican senator had the same idea. All right, pass the $900 billion plan as it is. Don't change it. Put it like you're going to do. Then, once that passes, and the stimulus program and the continuing resolution or the budget is passed for the next whatever period of time it's going to be, then come back again when the new Congress and the new Senate come in and the lame duck session is over. Then take the other proposal, a separate stimulus check bill can be passed, bring it to the floor of the House or the Senate. This will be easier to pass because if the Democrats unfortunately do take the House or in the Senate, then the good news is that it's more likely to get approval. If we have a program in effect right now, we can avoid the evictions that are going to happen because of the eviction protections expire on December 31st. Guys, that's not many days. That's not really that far away. It's the 11th now. That's 20 days. If we don't come up with something within 20 days, there's going to be a lot of Americans out on the street. Over 40 million people could be homeless. This is extremely frightening. And if you think about it, they need that $1,200 more than ever because they're going to need it to pay for a place to sleep. Even if it is in a motel room with their families. You can't say that that's not unrealistic, that they're going to need help. All these evictions because of no fault of their own, but because of COVID-19. By the way, COVID-19 is again making a mess of Walmart. I can tell you from walking to Walmart yesterday. I couldn't even find women's socks in my size. I had to buy men's socks because they were out of women's socks. Or maybe Kristen didn't know where they were. I don't know. But I know that research project found me the size socks I needed on Amazon. So I might have to consider looking on Amazon for socks. I know I didn't get my ears yet from the Ukraine. I have no idea when they're going to come here. I'll just have to keep checking the mailbox and see if they finally show up sometime. There's no tracking number. There's no, nothing. So I have no idea where the ears are. Kind of think of it. That's not the only thing I want. I have no idea where it is. Where's the compassion in this country? I mean, really. Everybody, of course, is concerned about budgets and finances on the personal and on the government levels. But the sad truth is nothing's getting done. Why? Because everybody basically wants to say it's not my problem. Honey, if it wasn't your problem, then why are you sitting there eating shit when the economy is taking a dump on you? Of course it's your problem. It's going to remain your problem. How long can you keep kicking the can down the road before you realize that you're just as messed up as everybody else is? You think the senators, Republicans, or Democrats in the House really care about the individual? No. Because they realize that what they want more is to make sure that they get another term in office. Ugh, I got an itch. I think that's a piece of tape that got stuck to your new underwear. Oh. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to scratch that right now. Anyway, the thing is there's no way in heaven's name anybody can actually work around the limitations. Is your life going to be like that bookshelf? Think about it. Let's talk about it. Let's flip this microphone away so you can hear me. Where do you stack yourself? Are you worried about the things on the ground floor, the things in the middle level, the things in the tippy top, which is up here? If you don't have a good base here or the things down here, that's going to be the heavier stuff. The shelf is going to be very shaky. It's always shaky anyway because it's plastic. But the point is, you got to have a good foundation so that the upper part, even if it does move around a little bit, it'll still be solid enough not to capsize. That's the problem when you start talking about making budget constraints and things like that. Is if your economists cannot realize that the individuals who don't have a good, solid financial foundation, it don't matter how much you stack on top. It's all going to come down with a boom, all of it. And so for that reason, you're going to have to realize that people cannot live like this forever. In the House, the Senate, you guys have got to come up with something. That's an issue. Don't hold it against me or anyone else out there who are trying to make a living in life, trying to keep a solid foundation. Stop making promises that don't make sense. If people don't have food, shelter, and clothing, they're not going to do well. The same applies to anybody. And yet, there's always the ideological argument, but we really can't afford to give this money out because there's not enough funds. Maybe that's true. Maybe there's not enough money. But you know what? People have been looking for assistance since last March. You gave them one stimulus check package that originally was unanimously agreed on by everybody. Everybody got the $1,200 except for dependents who were over 17. The 17-year-old dependents get $0. And they wondered why they were still hard up. Do you realize that a large majority of those 17-year-olds for most of them, let's see, 17 until 21, are probably the college-age teenagers, and they're probably got mom and dad to provide for the basic needs. As long as they're under 17, they got the stimulus check, $500. But once they were living on their own in the college dorms or even off-campus housing, they got no help. They may have lost their job at the local local, fast food place, or even if they were doing an internship, they probably lost their internship because of COVID-19, so that they couldn't do anything. That's the pits. But everybody sits there, and we've been arguing always since March about the second stimulus check. We should have had something by now. No wonder why this economy is taking a nosedive. There's nothing out there for them. I was lucky enough to save $100 in some small change in my personal money so I could buy that shelf. I mean, come on. I had to work hard to save that money. I mean, the result of the shelf was good. Got all the junk off the floor. So it's a little bit order in a world that is not ordered. But what are you going to do with all those people that are going to become homeless? 40 million Americans are about to lose their home because they're running out of the eviction protection moratorium. Those people are not going to have a happy Christmas this year. For them, their lives already are the pits. With no fault of their own, and they're already suffering because of that reason. Their lives are the pits. It's even harder for the family with children. How are you going to explain to your little boy or girl that they're not going to have a nice Christmas this year? I mean, the kids may know a little bit about this. Of course, they wear masks with mom and dad in public. But how many of them really understand what's going on? All they wanted to do is to have a happy childhood, and they can't. And now, if your family are the ones that couldn't pay their mortgage or pay the rent, they're going to be the ones living on the red bridge, too. I think the kids need a support group. Other kids like them can actually sit there and get together, come up with an idea how they're going to survive it. What about the single or elderly? Yeah, let's talk about the elderly for a minute. Next year, I'll be able to apply for the senior center in Winston. I'll be 53 years old. I'm eligible next year to join the Winston Senior Center. And you think this year has been easy for the seniors and the young seniors? Let's call them the early seniors, all right? Because they're not juniors and they're not children, so there's definitely in between. Rusty, what are you doing? You're knocking things around again? Oh, dear God. I don't know about you, but so many people are not going to have a happy Christmas this year. I'm sorry if you had to go through that. It makes my heart ache to think that somebody who got a couple $1 million and sitting in Congress or the Senate can't even realize that a lot of individuals have struggled who don't even make a couple $1 million a year. And we're talking about even if they have families. Yet you sit there and you tell us that it's too expensive. Well, what about the social service agencies now that are going to have to deal with 40 million more people on the rolls? Like the United Way. Or even the state agencies like the Department of Social Services. What about them? How are they going to deal with the crushing caseloads? They already have it bad enough even before COVID-19. Now you just made their lives even more complicated. Their lives are going to be made worse by the additional new workers and new clients and new caseload, and that is going to seriously paralyze the system even more so. And think about the little boys and the little girls who this year, as I said, who are not going to get a Christmas present because mom and dad can't buy them anything. Because mom or dad or both haven't been working and there's not enough money. Or what about the fact is that the mom or the dad is homeschooling their kids because the public school system is closed in part by the teachers' unions who don't want to get sick with COVID-19, even though the kids usually, if they do get it, usually recover fairly quickly. Do you see the sadness here? It's all politics. They don't give a crap about you. They never did. All these politicians think about is themselves. They're greedy, selfish little bastards, and they don't care if it affects you in a bad way or not. If you don't have the needs that you need to get your life together, you can't get your life together. Then you're going to end up like my character in Elder Scrolls Online. Stuck. You can't get out. You can't get in. You can't go up. You can't migrate. You can't progress. You're just stuck. What is she supposed to do? I don't know. Hoping that she's going to find the guard that's going to, she might overpower her and then be able to get out the door that way. Possibility. Well, individual families are looking for the key to the door to get them out of this mess that they were thrust into. And yet Congress is sitting there going and worrying about giving out a stimulus check because they're trying to appease the Republicans to pass a $900 billion bill. Fine. You want to go ahead and pass a skinny bill for $908 billion as part of the anti-government shutdown? Great. But you know what? Then let's have another stimulus program separately. Let's bring it to the floor. Make a separate bill for the stimulus check. We need this, folks. We need this. Let's give the kids of the world a happy Christmas. Okay? Let's give the elderly a happy Christmas. And those who have no families a happy Christmas. I had so many ideas I wanted to do. I kept making excuses and not being able to do them. And the biggest one, which is the most painful, is to say is I just don't have the money to do it. Try explaining that to a 5-year-old. They want the little G.I. Joe or the little toy truck and maybe a box of Legos. And yet, mom and dad has to say, sorry, Tim, but I can't give you your Legos or your truck. You'll be lucky if you even get a place to live. Because Mr. Landlord's going to throw us out because I couldn't pay the rent because I have been out of a job. Do you think a little boy understands all the details of what that means? Probably not. So like I said, it's the homeless kids that are the worst tragedies of all. Because they don't know what they're supposed to do. They're tough, but they still have feelings. So, yeah, it's a mess. So the question is, what should we do about it? What can we do about it? Of course, support if you can the Red Cross and the Salvation Army and United Way in your area. Of course, help them by giving them the resources to help families. That would be a good start. But don't forget that you also may have your own issues in life too. So you have to find balance between the needs of the many versus the needs of the few, and that's going to remain that way. I don't know where everybody is today, but I really hope to God that you will look into your heart and understand that the situation in this world is grave. Okay, it's not going to go away. The problems are not going to go away just by saying nothing about them. It's just so saddening. I remember when I was younger, and I didn't understand a lot of things, of course, when I was a child either. I remember how Christmas was always a special time. The time of Santa Claus and Christmas shows, and hope was in the air, promise for the future. Many adults also wanted the same thing. We wanted to have a positive show, a positive time when we could have relationships with our loved ones. This year, the Grinch has stolen both. The joy of being an adult and the joy of being a child. I don't want to pick any names out of a hat of people to blame, because that's not necessarily specifically their fault, but rather I just think it's the ideologies that are stopping people from feeling happiness. They're just not getting it. Americans feel, as the other people in the world do, lost. I find my legs again, but then there's no place to go. Even my local Walmart didn't even have the stuff I needed. So worried about money, budget's this, budget that. I couldn't even really get into the enjoyment of buying the things I needed and just saying, screw the wallet, just buy. I mean, guys, this is sad. This is disheartening to everybody. I'm asking you to get in contact with your legislators. I think the phone number is 202-224-3121, and call them up and tell them. Tell them you want to talk to both your senator and your House representative, and tell them, look, we need help. Couldn't you at least give us something to enjoy for Christmas this year? Thanksgiving sucked for many families. Well, I'm surprised I got 3 watches. I don't have any comments on the screen. Not even Discord's even saying anything. So, what's going on with you, Discord? Maybe we should talk more about this on tonight's show. I'm sorry I didn't do one last night. As I said, I really didn't feel physically up to it. I really didn't. Okay. My body was so sore. Kind of sucks. What would I really want for Christmas? Well, if I can disregard age-specific stuff, and if there was no limit to the things I really want for Christmas, if I had to pick one thing I really want more than anything, that's kind of hard because my life has sucked for years. So Anything that makes my life suck less would be nice. But you know what I do miss? I miss being able to have fun. I miss being able to watch TV, for example, or watch the Christmas shows, or, even if it was just an illusion, or maybe some possibly a small feeling, at least we can overcome this. Yeah, sure, there are physical things I would like for Christmas too, but I know that that's not likely to happen right now. The business money is still in the business account and has not been spent because I'm not sure what I really want. Because if those hate mongers get their wish, there won't be a channel anymore to stream on. That sucks. That really sucks. So, brothers and sisters, as you can see, there's not much going on right now in the world. I would say it's fantastically beautiful. It's just not going well for many people. Remember the children. They have no idea, or they only have a very vague idea what's going on. And they're hoping that Santa Claus is going to come this year. And that they'll be able to celebrate New Year's, and that they'll be able to have a happy next 2021. And then they can go back to school again. Never mind the kids, they say he hate school. You know what? The truth is, kids prefer to do something with their lives. There's only so many video games you can play before you basically feel like your life is the pits. Don't hold it against your kids. Is that since they keep hoping that things are going to get better, deep down the kids all want things to be better, even as you do. You probably wish you could pay the back rent you owe or your mortgage to avoid foreclosure or eviction, or find a job. Yeah, you know what? The sad truth is, it's not going to happen. Not because anything you've done, but because of outside circumstances that just don't want you to have a good time. Let me just give you a piece of advice. Even if you're not a Christian or a pagan, you could always sing this song when I'm gone. Lord, have mercy on me. Christ, have mercy on me. Lord, have mercy on me. And if you think you've ever done a sin and you don't know what to do, you can use this simple Catholic prayer. I confess to you, my brothers and sisters, and all the angels and saints, that I have sinned in my own words, thoughts, and deeds, and what I have done and what I have failed to do. And I ask all you, my brothers and sisters, to pray for me to the Lord our God. And I'll just give you very simply a very nice little message. The Lord will absolve you of your sins. The Lord will forgive you. For he said, seek and you shall receive. So if you think you need his help, he's here for you. And even if you're not a Christian, just understand that there is someone out there who is there listening to your cries and your tears and your wailing and gnashing of your teeth. And they understand it. But maybe for reasons that are beyond their control, they may not be able to help you directly right now. Don't be afraid to express your fears. Because once you express your fears, you can begin the process of recovery. We're taught from the movie Dune by Mother Monahan, who says fear is the mind killer. If you are afraid, then you will never achieve. I know that every day, as I said, people are looking for the answers. And every day we keep hearing the government keep constantly doing posturing and saying things like, I don't want to spend that because it's too much money for the budget. Our treasury can't take this. I understand your point of view, but however, Mr. Legislature, Mr. Congressman, please listen to me for a minute. Could you stop being so Ebenezer Scrooge for 5 minutes and think about what people need? Especially your constituents that put you in office in the first place. I don't know about you, but it doesn't seem very holiday-like. I didn't even put my tree up yet. It's in the storage bin. And I gotta find if I can find the piece of wood that I made it's supposed to sit in. And I have no idea where that is. It's a shame. It's a shame. So as I said, call your state legislator, your federal legislators, and tell them both the same thing. Please help. We need to believe. We need a hope. We need our Santa Claus. I don't care how old you are. We all need a Santa Claus right now. After all, even adults are still little kids at heart. They may have more gray hairs and they may have a harder time walking, but they're still basically children at heart too. Sometimes adults forget that. Do you remember the excitement it would be when I got the elf ears? How it made me feel good because there was just something that made me feel happy. Of course, it's the little things. Sometimes there's stories about a man, for example, who was in a German concentration camp. And he found a piece of a Bible in his language. It's a single page of the New Testament. He read that page, both sides of it, that's all he had for the gospel of the Lord was that one page of a Bible. The joy in his heart when somebody gave him finally a complete edition of the Bible after the end of World War II, with a missing page, was part of that Bible. Or as they got a brand new complete Bible. that now he could understand more of the story, what he was reading. I was happy with the elf ears. I'm still happy with my elf ears. I'm still waiting for the other ones in Ukraine. I don't know when they're going to be here. But the worst thing is that we used to have a happy Christmas. Sure, adults would whine about the work and trying to get Christmas presents and stuff, but that was almost always tradition, and we always did it, and we always managed to do it because we still wanted to give our loved ones something, even if it made them happy just for a little while. It's a big difference. Like Krista said to me, I wish we could get back to normal. Talking about when we were driving to the Walmart, she said, I wish things would go back to normal again, or at least more normal. We can get rid of these masks and we can just finally go in the store without having to go through all this aggravation just to go shopping. I get to agree with her. Ask mom and dad, how many of them would love to see the children go back to school so they can get their lives back together and maybe find another job? It's not unreasonable. Americans just want to believe. So unfortunately, as far as the stimulus checks goes, there is none yet. They are still fighting over the money. They're still fighting over it. They're not getting anywhere. Even though they agree that the stimulus is going to be part of the continuing resolution to continue to keep the government running. Sadly enough, nothing's happened yet. By December 31st, many families, unless something happens, are going to be out of a home in the streets. And like Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus, which Mary was carrying inside of her, are going to have no place to rest their heads. That downright blows, if you ask me. Especially the fact is, it's not anything that they did to do that. Just was at the time of Jesus. They were doing the requirement to be part of a census, which was requiring them to travel to a place to register. Well, the point is, they didn't get very far. The only thing that the innkeeper could give them was a stable for where the livestock would be. The horses, the mules. That was it. That's all he had for them, donkeys. Of course, Joseph accepted that because it was better than nothing at all. In some cases, maybe some of us need to be the same way. Be thankful for something we get, even if it's not really enough for the long-term solution. I do feel really concerned for those people who are going to become homeless. I really do. It's one of the reasons why this year I'm going to try my best to see if we can find a balance with the winter weather. We don't want to make it too freezing cold. There's going to be 40 million new people who are going to be homeless. The only reason why they need to suffer. But we need to prepare the earth for the new coming, so that new life can spring forth at the time it's supposed to spring forth. I mean, I'd love to hear your comments, guys. Don't be afraid to talk. I'll read them. However, if you're one of those people who are detractors that really don't wish anybody any good, then be ready to get your ears boxed, because I am fed up with the whole situation of people being so uncourteous and disrespectful for other people. I'm going to be 53 in February. Okay? I don't even know what the future is going to hold for 2021 any more than anyone else. I just know what my tarot card reading says about me, but that's all I know, and that's not going to tell me a lot. But I'm actually asking for you to do a favor and help those who need help that are not me. Although it's up to you what you do. But the thing is, if you do have the ability to help the homeless man or the family that's about to lose their home, and you can help them with the bills or whatever it's going to take to prevent them from losing their home, please do that. If you want to be a secret Santa and giving the children presents, please do that. Please. It's not their fault. I don't care if it's the parents or the kids. It's not their fault. Show some humanity and compassion here. I know that there is good side of humanity. I've seen the good side on this channel many times. And it's for that reason I'm asking you to share it with other people. One-on-one would be best. If you can't, give it to a charitable organization like Salvation Army or the Goodwill, or even local other charities that are in your area. Maybe you could help make Hillman's Christmas a little brighter this year. For me, my Christmas is going to be shitty. I feel trapped. I know my character in ESO is really trapped and can't get out of that one room that she's stuck in because someone locked the door behind her. Well, I guess that's about it, really. Doesn't sound like anyone's here. It's been a whole hour. I mean, for watchers, maybe waiting to the end of the show to comment. I don't know. Don't be afraid to comment. I want to hear what you got to say. I really do. If you want to know how to reach me, I just posted up my email address. And you can go to that. If you want to comment in the comment section below, please do. I'll post it again just in case you guys blocked Nightbot. You guys didn't know it was there. Okay. Don't be afraid to share. As far as, are we going to have a 7 o'clock show tonight? Probably. When are we going to play some more World of Warcraft? Probably today. What do I think? Elder Scrolls Online? Bleh. Bleh. Yeah, I can calm my tongue a little. Sucky. Sucky. I just didn't like it. Of course, when you get to be a level 46 in World of Warcraft, everything just becomes tedium. You do the same thing. Take a garrison, go to the auction house. What I miss in the game is when me and Schmecko and Skynet would play together and we'd do some dungeons and raids. We never did a raid, but we did a dungeon. And we would do that. If it wasn't for the help, Michaela probably would have been still stuck at the same level she was the whole time. Everybody's so depressed in the world right now. I can feel it. You're depressed. Your life sucks. You don't know what to do. I get it. I get it, honey. You want to do more than nothing. Well, you know what? The sad truth is unless something changes, unless an opportunity presents itself, it's going to be kind of hard to do much different. No one can tread water for so long before you realize you just trying to postpone the inevitable. You're going to drown. You're looking forward to seeing the guy who maybe on a passing ship, or maybe you can swim to land if you could find which way to go for land, so you can get out of your mess. I don't think your Congress guy is going to help you. He's going to throw you an anvil instead of a life preserver. Because they think we're all a bunch of deadbeats. Why isn't the government going after China? Especially the Democrats. Why aren't they going after China? You mean to tell me you don't think it's important to find justice in the world? I don't know. You guys, the world out there, I feel for you. The innocent people that are getting screwed. I really do. I don't know why we're not getting many comments nowadays, but it's days like this when the show has nobody on to cover routine things that just basically make the show suck. Well, I'm not going to delay the inevitable and keep you on all day. That's ridiculous. So I should be doing a 7 o'clock show tonight if I feel like it. So just be aware of that. And I hope that you have a good afternoon. Maybe today will be a better day for you. Maybe Congress will finally give us some thought of what I said. So please do call them and tell them what you feel. 202-224-3121, I believe it is. And you give them a call and you tell them, do something about this. For the sake of the American people and the people of the world who are basically suffering because there is no money even for a happy Christmas. When are we going to be having a Yule show? 10 days. Actually, in 9 days. Let's find out the exact date. I can tell you exactly when the Yule show is going to be. The Yule show is actually we're going to be starting the taping our live stream on Sunday night. It's the 20th. And the reason we do it on the 20th is because at 7 o'clock at night on the 20th. So it'll be a special Sunday show. We will have some phone calls. At least that's my objectives. And we will be reaching out to you and see what was going on. I'll do my best to make Yule a little more pleasant and enjoyable as best I can. Because when Yule is the time of winter starts, it's when the winter queen, or snow queen in this case, the North American snow queen, takes care of the earth in hibernation, while the northern hemisphere slumbers and prepares for its rebirth. At the same time in Australia, New Zealand, and Southern Hemisphere, it's the beginning of the summer. Their longest day of the year, which is our shortest day of daylight, little less daylight. Kind of sad, isn't it? All right, so I'll be here tonight at 7 o'clock if I feel like it. And next week, it looks like Wednesday will be another later Good Morning World show. So, see you later on. Stay out of trouble. Just keep in mind what I said. Okay? You have a nice day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.